deals connect with people. It's not just about the deal, but it's about creating relationships. And I'll never forget the deal that I contact Olga with. It was the deal that we didn't even do anything with. And then she called me back and says, hey, I got a better one. And I looked at that one and I said, well, this one makes sense, right? And we kicked it off, since there. Anyways, online campaigns, very little, but still come in. And, we're looking for the ugliest properties in town. And the way we fund our deals, ladies and gentlemen, I actually do, I deviated a little bit different than this. Well, actually, I still do the 75% with a hard money lender or up to 90% sometimes, depending the situation. But in a nutshell, if I was to sum it all up, I do 100%. In other words, today, I don't bring any of my money into the table. And some people may see it as a good thing, some people may see it as a bad thing. To me, I see it as an outstanding thing. Why? Because when you buy deals that are really great, outstanding deals, there shouldn't be no risk. Honestly, shouldn't be no risk. I just picked up a San Jose property for $200,000 and it's worth $750,000. So guess what? I'm gonna ask for 100% that someone put $200,000. Do you think will you land on a property that is worth $750,000? And guess what? Even my hard money lender, you better put 100%. I don't care about your guidelines. Because if your guidelines are not looking that the property's $750,000 and all I'm asking is put the $200,000, then something is wrong with that picture, right? But see, I will never forget when I first started in this journey that it was so freaking hard to get money and people to lend. But it was the wrong mindset. It was because I wasn't getting the right deals, right? But when you get the right deals, the money is just gonna pour on you. People are gonna chase you around. And that's why today, even though I show this in a nutshell, I will do either 90% on hard money, 10% I bring private money, and then 100% from the hard money for the construction or the renovation. So at the end, and one of the things that I do is I actually pad whatever the holding cost period is. I still have to pad it and request it as a loan. Why? Because would you agree that if you don't have to think on where the money is going to come from, you can make calmer, better decisions? Would you agree with that? Then if you're pressed, worried, maybe thinking, well, I gotta bring money of my own, but if I don't have it, right? At the beginning, I had to. The very first house that we started buying, very heavily. I remember it was with my wife. It was we did it with credit cards. A lot of it was on a credit card, and I said we're gonna bank it. But you gotta start from wherever you gotta start, right? So it's very important. Anyways, the way we work is that we pay our private money lenders. Oftentimes, when somebody comes to us, they can earn anywhere from 12 to 25%. Depending on how many deals they do in a year basis with us. Some of the private money lenders are actually here, and most of them, I should say all of them, has actually come from this groups and this meetup. So they're always protected and backed by deed of trust that we give in a promissory note that eventually, obviously gets recorded. Once again, I've done it both ways. Some of the hard money lenders don't allow seconds, right? They don't allow seconds, and when they don't, I tell them the truth. I tell them straight, flat out. I say, hey, listen, this is the real. This is how it is. If you still feel comfortable doing it with me, I'm not gonna jerk you around. We gotta close escrow, and then you can go and record your thing. But and if you're fine, fine. If not, it's okay. Most of them, they're okay with me. Why? Because it only takes for you to start just under promise and over deliver, right? Under promise and over deliver, because it's very easy to over promise and under deliver. Almost anybody can do that. Almost, it's by default, right? So it's very, very, very important. Some of our, private money lenders, as you can see, they've been with us since the beginning. They're just happy to know that their money is being, utilized, and it's producing even more money. You know, we got sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, and I know that I'm very heavy with lending home just because of the reasons that you guys know already about. I'm going to suggest you that, you know, go ahead and get a different opinion. That doesn't mean that that's the only company that I use, but I am heavy with them. I do use them as a very high routine basis, even though I always use others, because I think it's important not to have all your eggs in one basket. I think it's important to explore other avenues as well. One of the things that I like is they're, you know, investor friendly. They understand. I work with many different hard money lenders, and they all have their own standards. I love the fact that they go on percentages. When you request for money and they go and send the inspector to do the construction inspection advance, you know, they go on percentages. And some companies, what they do is, if you told them that you needed the money because you completed the roof, you completed the flooring, you completed the paint, but by the time the inspector goes in and you completed more things, they don't give it to you. They only give you exactly what you put in. And they understand that, hey, listen, I understand that by the time the inspector goes in, maybe other things got done in the way. So they release more than what it is. So they understand that aspect. We also use HomeBay, you know, to sell our properties. And you'll you know, go and visit the site. You'll understand. For us, we use them because we do a lot of volume. Oftentimes, you know, we get to save, and I use that money to build the company, to bring more, you know, more into the market, to offer you guys more deals. As a matter of fact, if you're not yet in our list and you want to be in our list, make sure to get in our list. This year, I'm going to wholesale 80% or more of our properties. This year, I'm not going to renovate as much, so there's going to be plenty of great inventory out there. And we can talk about it more on one-on-one. We already started it, and you know, and it's important. Like, we just got one today. We just got one property today in Pleasanton. So, you know, that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So things like that, but it's very important. Anyways, you know, there's many endless ways on how to find money, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go through it. I'm actually going to end right there. And all I can tell you, it's the following. If you're here and you came and you drove in the rain on a Thursday night, I want to congratulate you for being here. But make sure that you grab one thing that you take with you and that you truly apply, that you truly master it. One of the things that I personally do so that I can give it to you, I grab the 3 to 5 things that brings in revenue during the day, and that's the thing that I focus on. 3 to 5 things that brings the revenue into your home, and those are the 3 to 5 things that I focus on. And the reason I'm sharing this is because at the end of the day, you're here because you want to better either lifestyle, you want either freedom, you want to either travel. There's a purpose and a reason, right? And the fastest way that I know it's when you have and adopt the right mindset. Because when you adopt the right mindset, what Mr. Michael Morangella is going to show you here tonight, it's going to be amazing. Going back again, it was 6 months. I was sitting down there. I was hearing him about how creative. I have never met someone more creative than Michael Morangella. And I'm not joking around. I'm serious about it. Because that night alone has made 6 figures. I told him, Michael, let's have dinner before the meetup, man. And he was gonna pay, and I said, no way. I'm not gonna allow you to pay. You know, you just made me almost $100,000 in 6 months. And anyways, and it may sound joking, but it's the truth. If I had not heard that, and it was not with the right person, it would not have happened, right? Very important. So you decide. The only person that can put its own value is the one that is sitting in that chair. And he's about to come up and show us some critical information of where the deals are happening. that night alone, I also learned few things that he's, that he spoke about, the deals, like the 3 M's in marketing. He spoke about several things on how to, how everybody's doing the same thing and differentiate. And that's when I started thinking, you know what? If they're helping me try to be different, why am I closing myself? I heard it from Michael. Go ahead and make things different so that you can have different results. And one of the things is, I remember sitting down and I said, one day I'm going to invite him to speak. And one day I do some, my own meetups. And ladies and gentlemen, 6 months later, we have no other than a gentleman, than a person that literally, when we talk about paper asset investments, he told me the deals that he's doing from 200,000 all the way to the $3 million mark, from a single family residence to wine countries. I mean, you're about to hear from someone that knows his craft, that knows how to put together deals even with no money, more creative than myself. And all I can say is I get to learn from the masters, and we have him here tonight. So help me welcome Mr. Michael Orangel.
All right, that's a great introduction. Thank you. Wow, it's an honor. Okay, do I need the mic?
Well, it's up to you.
Can you guys hear me okay without the mic? Or would you rather me use it? No? Without the mic. Okay. I think I can handle it without the mic. If I start